One of the things that's hard for veterans when they are done serving and they come back home is they sometimes need special services and they don't know where to go. That's where Amy Jackson comes in. She's with Veteran Services, and you guys supply a lot of different things for them, don't you?
Yes, we do.
Tell us a little bit about what you could expect to get from services-wise from Veteran Services.
There's a wide range of things that we can do to help veterans. Sometimes they come back and they just need a little bit of guidance on where to go for their education benefits, VA healthcare, and things like that. Those are all things that we can do. We can also help them get their DD-214 or their discharge papers from service, military records. We offer temporary financial assistance in a time of need. So if they need help with rent, mortgage, certain utilities, food vouchers, or transportation back and forth to the VA Medical Center, we can provide that. We also do different types of claims and things like that for veterans. So if they have like a service-connected disability or a non-service-connected disability, sometimes they qualify for more benefits.
And if they maybe need the service that you don't provide, you guys can steer them in the direction where they can get it.
Right. Yeah, if we don't know, we have other places that we can reach out to try to get information.
Right, and there's a lot of different things that a veteran might need help getting back. I mean, they've been serving for so long and they're not used to getting into the regular grind of things. You have services that will help them get back into the regular.
Right. There's different programs as far as places that can help with employment, barriers to employment, mock interviews, and just get people's foot in the door. Sometimes veterans don't understand how to take their military service and civilianize that, and that's one of the things that's available to help them as well.
And there's a lot of things, skills they learned in the service that do transfer over into our world.
Right, it does transfer over. I think where we have the breakdown sometimes is more with the terminology. You have the military terminology versus the civilian terminology, and that sometimes is the link that the veterans need help with.
And I think sometimes the veterans are so used to giving and serving that when it comes time that they have a need, they don't want to take it. But look, it's yours. You've earned it, every bit of it, and more. And so please don't hesitate to call Amy and get services that are already there for you, that you have already earned. You don't owe anybody for that.
That's right. I hear people say all the time, that they really don't want to accept any type of assistance from the office. And I try to remind everyone that the things that we do for veterans in the office is not considered like a welfare type program. It's more of a benefit that veterans earn. Your family has earned that, and you have earned that. So please give Amy a call if you need some help in about anything in life. If she doesn't have the services right there, Veteran Services, then she can steer you in the place that you can. Thank you for visiting with us. Thank you.
Tell us who you are, sir.
My name's Lloyd Crawford, and I live here in the Washington Courthouse. I belong to Chapter 89 here at the DAB.
Now, what branch of the service were you in?
I was in the United States Army, 1967.
1967.
6, 7, and Vietnam. So that's pretty much my tour consisted of.
How many months were you there?
I was in Vietnam for 13 months.
13 months, and I bet that 13 months couldn't come quick enough, could it?
Well, that was a whole another lifetime.
It was. And then you come back home, and was it easy for you to get back into the swing of things?
Not really.
Because you had
The state of the country at that time was had an uproar that they didn't want us over there. I don't know.
They were crazy. It was really crazy time.
It was a crazy time.
It was a crazy time.
I don't know whose fault that was, whether it was theirs or ours, but I'd done what I was told.
You had to deal with it, exactly. And to do what you're told. I mean, in our area of the world here, in Fayette County area, we're pretty good at doing what we're told.
Right, and I respect the DAB and the organization they have here in Washington Courthouse in Fayette County. Does a lot for the veterans that can't get up and move around as freely as what we do.
Right.
And if they need help, there's somebody here that they can call.
It's almost always you see in the newspaper about somebody building a ramp for a veteran.
Veteran, maybe something as simple as a car ride.
Car ride, yes. That, people don't understand that, but they say, well, what can I do? Sure, a veteran might need a ride to a doctor's appointment, or he might need a ride, and so you can do really anything. You mow a yard. You can maybe sit with somebody so a veteran can get out and do something.
Sometimes just to have somebody to talk to means more than a lot of people don't have somebody just to talk to.
You're absolutely right. I've always said you need to pray every day, but you also got to have a friend you can talk to.
Right. It helps.
That does.
And I really respect the community as a group, for the vets, sticking up for the veterans. You just don't see that in all the communities.
Right, but it's kind of unique here to Fayette County.
It is.
People talk about how the veterans don't get treated very well, but what I see is better than most here in Fayette County. It's not where we want it to be, because there's folks. These are the people that give me the right to go vote. They give me the right to do what I'm doing right now, freedom of speech and freedom of the press, and all of the stuff that's in our U.S. Constitution. They protect that. They make sure that another country doesn't come in here, tear up the Constitution, and now we have to do things their way. And so that is why every single person in America should thank a veteran when you see them. You should sit down and talk to veterans. They have very interesting stories, and it's just the fact that they had to sacrifice so much for me and you, and they didn't even know me and you, but they went and did the sacrifice anyway. So I agree that we should really have more respect for our veterans. But here in Fayette County, I'm very proud. We do treat them very well, and we try to take care of them as best we can. I'm going to thank you for visiting with us.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. Thank you for your service. Tell us your name.
Mark Sestina.
And what branch of the service were you in? You were in two, I
I was
understand.
in two, right? The Air Force and the Army.
What rank did you attain?
E7 in both, Master Sergeant in the Air Force and then Sergeant First Class in the Army.
How long have you been out?
2 years. I retired from the Army 2 years ago.
2 years ago. So how long did you serve?
In altogether about 41 years.
41 years. What a career in the military. When you joined first in the Air Force, was you thinking this was going to be a career thing, or did it just happen?
Well, no, I'd always wanted the Air Force. I mean, I like the smell of the jet fuel.
Yeah, that's right. There you go.
It was just like...
And it's exciting too, isn't it?
It really is exciting.
Watching them things take off.
So I decided in 2 years after I graduated from high school, in 70, I graduated in 73, 75, I went to the Air Force in October. And then
Took me a lot of years to get
took training in Chanute, Illinois, which is not there anymore. First base was in Shaw Air Force Base in South Carolina. Then I went to Upper Hayford, England, which is not there anymore. But I was there for 3 years, and then when I came back, I went to Bergstrom Air Force Base, which is in Austin, Texas.
He was known as the base killer. Every base he went to is not there anymore. Almost. That's so funny.
You're right.
What a track record you have. That's right. Serving at bases.
So everybody that wanted to, when they were trying to deal out the orders, they said, we don't want to see that.
So tell us about your Air Force experience.
Like I said, most exciting probably was when I was in England for 3 years.
What was your job in the Air Force?
I was an auto mechanic.
Okay.
And
I thought maybe he
it was actually from 77 to 80.
Okay.
Is back ways. And so we still had, in Upper Hayford, they were, I'm not giving it away, because they had nuclear weapons there.
Right.
So we had, it's just a whole different thing. We tested a lot, base-wide, shutting down all the different things the civilians had to play after.
Right.
So that we were kind of prepared. But it was just thrilling to be able to go to France, go to Ireland, go to all the other places, in addition to what I was doing there.
What was your favorite place that you visited while you were there in Europe?
I would have to say probably Ireland. I enjoyed. I was there for 2 weeks.
It's a beautiful island.
It is, and we kind of just drove around middle section of the island went to Knock, then to Cary, and then to Waterford Crystal Plant, and we crossed over the Holyhead Wales, and we just drove back to Oxford, pretty close to where I lived.
Excellent. And the island, I would imagine the scenery and everything is beautiful. How's the food? How's the food?
Well, the food is different, yeah. Beer was good.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, but the Guinness that we had there was...
and that's not shipped over. See, I can get that fresh over there. It's a little different, isn't it? That's right.
It is really. So, it just the whole experience was good.
I get now the Army. Let's talk about the Army. What was your job in the Army?
I was finance guy.
Okay.
And I was... To backtrack just a little bit, I stayed active duty for 6 years in the Air Force, and then I was in the Air Force Reserve for 20 years.
Oh, okay.
So we still went to the Azores and Italy and a few things during my summer camp while I was in the Air Force. And then with the Army, what had happened is I was on the civilian side. I was a civilian employee. And I was working down in Kentucky, and they were getting rid of my position. So they put you into a program called the Priority Placement Program, and they found me this job. It was with the Army, but in order to have that job, one of the conditions of employment was to be in the Army.
Right. So you had to join.
So I had to join, which is okay. I mean,
now did you have to go to boot camp again?
No. There's a training that you have to go to, and it's not really like boot camp.
Gotcha. A little different training.
Yeah. And so then I was there from 2003 until I went to in April of 2006. I went in April to Fort Bliss. We trained for 3 months there before we went to Iraq. And my job in Iraq was I was with an MP company, MP battalion. And we processed the detainees in and out of all the camps.
My son Michael was a prison guard at Kirkuk Air Base because he speaks Arabic. He speaks 7 languages, and he speaks Arabic. So he was a translator at Kirkuk Air Base for the prison that was there with the prisoners, and he was amazed at how they're kind of just like normal people, except that they have been totally brainwashed in this whole thing. And then once you detoxify their brain, I guess is a good word, once you get that out, it's like they revert right back to just being a normal person.
Yeah, they can, but like what the United States, that was coalition forces, basically. Where we were building schools, and we were doing a lot of good things. And
then that make you feel good, though.
It does, but then as soon as we built the schools, they were, destroyed,
blown up,
and unfortunately, at least from what I saw, some of the kids would go home and they would just be toxic.
Yep.
But they would kind of undo what we were trying to do, and I don't. I just think that. They having been in the situation they've been for so long, just suppressed them, just everything that they ever done, they had to do for one person.
Right, and I'm glad that you mentioned that. This is not, the people that are over there in the Middle East are not just now like this. They have been suppressed, and they have been told what to do and ruled by the Sunnis and the Shiites so long, hundreds, long before the United States of America was ever a country. These people were like this. And so trying to change them is very hard because it's easy for them to go back.
Right. So I was kind of not really disappointed, but I was kind of hoping that we would stay in the country for a generation.
For a generation.
Because if we did that, then we could start with the zero babies and new babies, and we could try to show them how different it is, and not have it undone as much. And then, so if you're there for a generation, you're there for 20, whatever generation is, 20, 25 years. Then you can not only set up their government, which you need to help them, you can help them with it. You know, I guess we kind of set it up for them and then let them run it. And, you know, they don't have the experience. They don't have Thomas Jefferson and they don't have all those good guys.
These people are still living like 3,000 years ago. I mean, they don't have adequate sanitation. They don't have running water. They, you know, it's not like here. These countries are you know, what they're talking about are still living like they did 3,000 years ago, and it's hard to get them to change. It really is. And like you said, unless we stay there for an entire generation, we're not going to make that happen.
Their imagination is just from the people that I saw.
Right.
I'm not saying as a whole, country as a whole, but people that I saw, they just had no imagination. They couldn't fathom having it any different than what it was.
Right.
And even if they did have it, I mean, what do they do with the freedom? They don't even know. So if we were there to kind of help them do that, I mean, I know it was going to be hard for us to be there.
Right. It's not something that would be feasible for us to be there for 60 years. It's not something that could be feasibly done.
Right.
But to try to train them to detoxify and train, and so that's why I know we're trying to do that now so they can take it over. But you know, it's a mess over there simply because I'm afraid that as soon as we leave completely, there's going to be a civil war anyway between the Sunnis and the Shiites, and that's going to be a mess. But what we're doing right now over there, though, is we're trying to get things stabilized so that they can have a good government that'll help the people and bring them up to the 21st century. And that's what we really need to do. We need to put refrigerators in their homes, and we need to put running water in their homes. And I mean, when you have a refrigerator and a freezer, you can go buy meat on sale today, and you can eat it 3 or 4 or 5 days from now. If you don't have a refrigerator, what you get at the market today, you have to eat today. And you can buy stuff cheaper and eat it better, and that's how it works. It's all about infrastructure, and we are so lucky to have what we have here in this country. That our governments in the past, in the 40s and the 30s and the 50s, decided we were going to need these power lines, we were going to need the Hoover Dam for electric, and we're going to need all this stuff, and so they put it in. So other countries just haven't done that, and it's rough when you go there because you want to help them so bad. There's so little you can do, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, and you know, the only guys that I saw, most of the guys I saw, were bad guys.
Yeah.
And you know, so I'm sure that had something to do with how I feel about them today. You know, you see the bad guys, you just think the bad guys.
Well, you know, you think prison guards, they see the worst of the people, and they have a negative opinion. Most prison guards have a negative opinion of the general public.
Yeah.
Because if you just hang around the dregs of society, that's what you're going to think everybody is. And so you kind of lose that a little bit. I know that I've talked to prison guards before up in London and Madison Correctional, and they both said the same thing. You start to feel very callous towards the human race because all you see is the bad part. You don't see the good part. So I really want to thank you for visiting with us today. And your stories are fantastic, and thank you so much for sharing on Veterans Voices. We certainly do appreciate it.